guys, welcome to our surveys and polls for this week. I might have to think of a new name because now I'm thinking about it because we're going to do a little more than just surveys and polls.
Mm-hmm. And that makes the theme song that I wrote for this way worse than it was before because it just said surveys and polls and surveys.
Where's this song at?
I haven't recorded it yet. I've just kicked it around in my head.
I see. So anyway, in these particular segments, what we do is I post a couple of surveys out on our YouTube channel. Follow us at youtube.com/dynamicdiscs. And we discuss the results. And it just, makes for good topics to talk about. We're also going to start talking, now that the season is kicking in gear, we're going to talk about our fantasy disc golf. We're not going to talk about our picks, what we pick. We'll talk about who we think we're going to do well, and then we'll see the results after the event, and we'll talk about how our picks went after the event.
Maybe for fantasy, and this is just an idea we haven't talked about, but maybe we could toss out like who we think's going to win, who has a really good shot at winning.
Sure.
And then maybe like somebody who's not in the very, very top tier, somebody who can make a good showing, and then maybe a dark horse or something like that.
The only thing, it might work.
You don't want to offend anybody.
No. It's not just that. It's just, I remember when we used to do it, it's like we even stopped picking number one because it was always Macbeth or Wysocki. Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't make for always an entry because it was like we knew who. Anyway, we'll see how it plays out. First topic or first poll that we're going to go with is got 1.9 thousand votes. How many disc golf courses do you have within a 30-minute drive of your home?
Oh.
The choices were 1 or 2 to 3 or 4 to 6 or 7 to 9 or 10 or more.
That's a hard one. I bet.
I would say
knowing most of our listeners are
2 to 3. Maybe?
That's what I was going to say. That would have been my best guess for most people.
We've got 10.
We've got a decent amount.
I would say 10 or more.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds right.
Yeah, I think 2 to 3 would probably be the most popular.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Is that what you're going for? 2 to 3?
Yeah.
2 to 3 got 26%,
right.
but 4 to 6 got 36%.
Really?
So
a little more populated than I thought. That's cool.
7 to 9 got 16%, 10 or more got 16%, and only 1 got 7%.
Wow.
Sweet.
That's pretty
cool. I guess half an hour is a pretty good chunk of distance.
It's a good little clip for sure. That's pretty cool.
Oh, they put number 1 because there wasn't an option for 0.
Oh, rip.
Sorry.
I know.
0 to 1 maybe should have been.
Yeah, it said 0 to 1, yeah.
Miles Seaborn just moved to Louisiana, and his nearest course, he's only really got one kind of close to him, and it's a little over, I think he said half an hour away.
Is that the one that he filmed yesterday?
I think so.
That looks like a fun course.
Yeah.
I only saw a little bit.
Yeah, it looks really nice.
It does.
Dude, tell me you saw the video of his son grip blocking.
Are you kidding me? There's like 90,000 views on Facebook.
That was so funny.
Miles Seaborn posted the video of his kid.
Yes. Well, Miles the fifth.
Yeah.
Just drilling his sister Audrey in the head, but on past like a 90-degree grip lock angle.
Oh yeah,
just so funny.
Like 90,000 views. That's
like I feel bad for her, but also that's one of my new favorite videos.
It's the new
WTF Richard. Yeah.
Kyle says he's out of Tulsa. He says Tulsa area has 22 courses that are within a 30-minute drive of Midtown, 11 18-hole courses and 11 9-hole courses.
Yeah, that's awesome. Nice.
That's a lot of places to play disc golf.
It's pretty good.
A lot of options.
Yes. So, I mean, we know that disc golf is growing and stuff like that. So it is really cool to see a lot of people have that many courses within their area. But, try to look outside of your bubble. On a Saturday, maybe an hour, 2-hour drive could get you to an area that has some really cool courses. And I know of people that will get up early in the morning, they'll drive a couple hours, and then they'll go play one course, have a lunch, go play another course. Then they've had a full day of disc golf. They make the drive home, and they've had a fun day.
We used to do that all the time.
Yeah,
and that can help your game too. If there's only one sort of course in your area,
absolutely,
getting out of your area a little bit will help.
Yeah.
When I was playing in Abilene, Texas, that's where I learned to play. Most of our courses are pretty wide open and very windy. So I got really good at throwing big hyzers and playing in the wind and things like that.
Yeah.
And I went to my first tournament at Turner Park in DFW, and you can't really throw big hyzers there because there are woods.
Yeah.
And my play showed that I wasn't able to do that. So yeah, getting out of your area can really help your game a lot. Help you prepare
absolutely.
something.
Make sure you get something like the UDisc app or the PDJ app, and you'll be able to find.
You can just search locations. Yeah.
So
near you.
All right. So the next one is, this one has 1.6 thousand votes, which is interesting because they both were posted maybe within hours of each other. I think I did. So just about 300
people didn't like this question at all.
Probably not. When you play a casual round of disc golf, do you keep score on a scorecard? Do you keep score in your head? Do you keep score on a mobile app, or don't even bother keeping score?
I don't even bother keeping score.
I'm trying to think about what most people would say. Because I'm with you. I'm either
not even at all. Not even like
I'll go back and count later if I want to, but
down, that wasn't an option.
This is true.
Yeah, I bet most people said keep score in my head.
It's not an option.
It is.
Was it an option?
It's the second option.
Keep score in my head. Yep.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. I guess. Yeah, that's probably right then.
Or I mean, I bet mobile app was. I think keep score in my head and don't keep it at all. I think those are relatively close to one another. I think the option after that is score on a score app.
All right, you were close.
Dang it.
44% said they keep score on a mobile app.
Really?
42%.
That was the highest.
Keep score in my head. Yeah.
I suppose that these people are all out like doing polls and stuff, so they're probably
they're the type who are used to it. Yeah, that makes sense.
9% said they don't even bother keeping score, and 5% said they keep it score on a scorecard.
Man, so I thought that keeping it in their head and not keeping score at all, I thought those would be close, and that's not the case.
Now, someone brought up that I forgot that this was a thing. He said, I chose scorecard because Birdie beads wasn't an option.
Beady birds.
Some guys are great at remembering what they shot, but not me. It's much easier for me to slide a bead up a string after every hole and know my score at a glance. Have you ever used beady birds?
No.
This is awesome.
Beads.
We're going to come out with some Bobby Brown, Cool Daddy Slick Breeze signature edition Beady Birds.
I've seen people use them, but I've never used them. Have you used them?
I have not.
I've seen people use the clickers too. Mm-hmm. You just
where you
every time you're over par, you click it, or every throw, click it.
Someone says keep score in my head when playing casual with friends or by myself. Par is always 3. It just makes scoring easier to do in your head and a lot more fun when you don't have to worry about different pars for different holes. In the end, you can still stack yourself against course par because it still took you X amount of strokes to finish.
Yeah, I always add up. No matter what course I'm playing, I always add up 54.
Yep. Same here.
So much easier.
Yes. Now, we had somebody ask about this a while back, either on the Answer Man page, or I'm sure we've had a question about it. It's easier to keep track if you're counting it as all par 3s. I do not think all holes are par 3s.
Correct.
And there are some people arguing for that well, everything's par 3, man. If that's how you count it, it's all par 3. No, it's not.
That's not how it works.
It truly is not. But
that's how I add it up.
Yes, but say we go out to Jones East and we play and I shoot 54. Well, that was easy to keep track of because we're playing off 54. I would say even when I was thinking of it, but to course par, that's like, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 under or something.
It's called He-Man even.
Yeah, He-Man par.
Yeah.
Because then you flex afterwards.
Yes.
Rick says he keeps scoring a mobile app until he starts sucking.
And then just gives it up.
Then I just take a walk in the park and throw a few frisbees.
Dude, he has kept it so real right there, and I really appreciate that.
He's probably not the first to do that.
No, but he's one of the only ones that will admit
it. Yes.
I usually, if we're playing somewhat competitively, I'll wait until the end and just add my score up at the end instead of trying to keep up with it as we go. That just works best for me. I don't know why.
Well, a lot of times I go out and I'm throwing a couple shots. So is it even a true score? You know what I mean?
No.
Exactly.
It's a fake score.
Exactly.
And
like I'm saying, going out and throwing like 5 tee shots on a hole or 3 tee shots. And, well, I shot a 52 throwing my first shots.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just kind of,
Yeah. So when you shot that 44 out at East, that was
false. That was during tags.
Nah, multiple shots though, right?
During tags.
Yeah. No, that's pretty good.
Rodrigo says, well, I really keep it with birdie beads, but don't really try to think about it because I'm usually there to practice and work on things I need to improve on.
Nice.
Makes sense. Billy says, keep score in my head, but hopefully someone else is keeping it up. keeping up to, because I'm terrible at it. Does the UDisc app, which is mentioned a lot when people say they did it on a mobile app, they use the UDisc app. Does it pair with smartwatches or have a lock menu option? That would be awesome. It gets old unlocking your phone every hole. I don't know if it has a lock mode, but I do know you can sync it with it on the Pro account, which is what, $5, $6 a year?
$4.99 a year.
Yeah. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Support these guys that are making these awesome apps for.
You can sync that to your watch.
Yes.
Yeah, you can. That has an Apple Watch app with it.
Yeah, what you do, I believe what you do is you create the scorecard in the app, get yourself going and set it all up, get your players, and then close the app. And then once you go to your Apple Watch, open the Apple Watch app, and then it's really a bare bones.
Does it go Jeremy?
No, bare bones where it just shows the score and you can tap plus or minus.
Yeah.
Can you do that for the entire card?
Yes, you can.
Multiple players.
Yep.
I never even knew that.
Yeah. In fact, I sent a question in because I was having some issues and it got resolved. But he said they're actually working on revamping it because they created it when the Apple Watch first came out. Now that Series 3 is out and it's a little more robust,
Nice.
they're gonna make something new for it. So yes.
And huge shout out to Matt and Josh of UDisc.
Yes.
They're honestly just killing the game. And I feel like we shout them out a lot. And it's absolutely warranted.
Yeah.
They are doing great stuff.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of people are leaving comments with the mobile app. They say they're using the UDisc app. So if you guys aren't using it yet, make sure you download it and leave a review and let them know that you got there by the Disc Golf Answer Man show because they would love to hear that.
And 5 stars.
And 5 stars.
And you can watch like scores and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, once Disc Golf
There's so
Pro,
much stuff.
Disc Golf Pro Tour.
It's not just a place to go keep score.
Yeah, it's got a lot of
I love it because
information.
you can keep your stats. There's so much you can do.
Distance, you can
measure your throws.
Distance. You can keep up with the winter marksman when that's going on. You'll be able to keep up with the match play that's going on. And once the Disc Golf Pro Tour, and I believe PDJ is working with them. So, yeah, it's going to be the place to go for info.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
Place to go for
Place
info.
to go.
Faux info.
All right, so we'll think of a couple more questions to ask on YouTube so we can get some more stats to talk about. So thanks everybody for doing that. Make sure you keep doing that so we can get more and more data and information. So real quick, let's talk about Las Vegas Challenge. So get your picks in at skipace.com. Use the code DGAM.
DJ.
So that we can get you in there. We're going to pick, we'll pick a winner next week. So how we'll do it also, I'm going to pick the person that gets the most points. And then how did we do it with ties?
Last year?
Why are you giving me a weird look?
I'm
He
confused.
wasn't here last year.
That's true.
Okay. So how we did it last year when we did it was at the end of the event, we'd see who got the most scores, and whoever's at the top, we'd win.
Whoever had the most correct wins.
So the correct, because you get points, right?
Right. Maybe you just say if there's a tie at the top, say there's 3 people who tied, then we'll just randomly draw between the 3.
I think that's what we did last year.
Yeah.
We just randomly.
Random.org, aka Anthony will just pick somebody.
Yeah, Anthony will pick somebody for the winner. So yeah, Anthony's going to pick himself. So we'll do that. So, but let's just kind of real quickly go over who do we think? What do we decide who?
So maybe since you were saying that we'll say most times Paul or Rick is going to be the choice at the top. Maybe we'll say which one of those guys we think is going to win this week or whatever.
Or who you think's going to win.
Yeah. And if it's not them,
it's not always going to be them.
Exactly. But then maybe say, all right, so if say I pick Ricky for this week, then I'll say another person who isn't Paul or Ricky that I think could legitimately challenge for
Top
it too.
4.
Yep. And then a dark horse. So someone who's not rated as high as the other guys, maybe doesn't have as much tournament experience, but who we think will challenge for that top 5, top 10.
So it's kind of your picks, right? Kind of for Skip.
No, because it's salary based, and
that's true.
And the math on that is different from event to event, and so my picks will be different on that from event to event.
Cool. All right. So who are you going to?
Who's your win?
I'm taking Rick. I mean, I know that's a surprise. This is basically my policy for the year, and I've already decided it, and you can't tell me different. So don't try.
I can tell you different.
But I will not listen to it. I will pick Ricky until his play for like several events in a row warrants that I don't pick him. Just because I think he is the clear and away number 1 right now. He's really super good, and he's really hungry. And so I'm picking Rick.
There's nobody feed him out there? Why?
No. Oh. It's really unfortunate because you'd think being like best player in the world, somebody would feed him. They don't.
Yum, yum, yum.
And he's a repeat. He won this event last year, so I think he's got a good shot out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going with Rick, obviously, too. Only because I've been watching a lot of his off-season training, and he's been not just working out on the course, but off the course. Mm-hmm. So he's really been working on health and
core strength and things like that.
Yeah, and at this point in the game, it's just, I mean, he's just a solid player.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's got all the tools.
It's hard to pick against somebody like Ricky. Granted, Paul has obviously. And there's a couple other players that have the ability to put everything together, but there's just something about Ricky coming out strong in his putt, and he's got a point to prove again.
I agree.
So
I'm going to have to go Ricky for all the same reasons. Not just because he's part of the family with the trilogy, whatever, but just because I think he's an excellent player, and I think he's got a lot left in him to win.
He's young.
I am interested to see how McBeth bounces back after his performance at Wintertime Open. Yeah. I don't want to say where
he hasn't won.
Yes, he did.
I just said he hasn't won.
Yeah.
But if you don't know that by now, get off.
I'm sorry.
Get off my case.
Yeah. So McBeth has
get off
won,
my podcast.
Get off my podcast.
He's won the last 4 Wintertime Opens in a row or something. It's a lot.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And he did not win this year. We won't say who did, but he did not win this year. And I've seen McBeth have something like that happen and then just bounce back on fire and then just like he's pissed. Wow. And so that could definitely happen this week as well.
And he's married now.
And he is married now. That's right.
You never know.
Maybe everything's different.
Yeah.
Maybe he only throws left-handed now.
Oh, I don't think so. I watched the video.
Oh, okay.
So who else we were going to say? We were going to go further.
Outside of Paul and Rick, who do you think is going to be top 4?
Okay, I got one.
Oh, should we pick top 4 or?
No, not your whole top 4. Just another person in the top 4.
3 names
that you think will be in the top 4.
Yeah. So you pick somebody else not named Paul or Ricky at this point.
Yes. You want to go first or you want me to?
I'll go.
Go.
I'm going to say JohnE McCray.
Nice.
I'm going to say JohnE McCray because a couple reasons. It's an more open style golf course. Johnny's been playing all winter long in Florida. He's just a solid player. I think he finished 4th here last year.
He did.
So he's just got he's got everything. I mean, he's got the mindset. He's got the knowledge. He's got the ability. He can throw a shield like nobody's business.
He's got superb angle control.
Yeah,
and that is super helpful out here,
especially on the golf courses. And he is a solid wind player. And it can get windy in Vegas.
Yep.
It can sure get windy down there. So I'm going with Johnny.
That's a great pick. And I went back and forth between Johnny and the person who I'm about to say for similar reasons, although their games for me look entirely different. Mm-hmm. But the person I'm going to pick is Nate Sexton. Nate is now, he's been out on the road full time, but he was a little bit off the road last year as his wife was finishing up school and having their child. He is they're touring around the country together, and I think that's having your family right there with you. Maybe say for Nate last year, maybe he was feeling like I should have been home at this point, or I know I felt that way before when I was at a tournament, and I think I should have been at home with my wife and things like that. Now that they're all out on the road together, and he's got more time to dedicate to disc golf, I'm very, very excited to see him excel out there. I pick him for the similar reason that you did, Johnny, because their angle control is really good, and with so many greens that are on kind of elevated baskets and really near OB and things like that, having a good backhand and forehand will benefit you at a place like this. Nate Sexton has a great both of those.
Yeah, so agreed.
I'm going to go with Eagle McMahon.
Yep.
He got 3rd last year.
He was in my picks for this time.
Yeah, he did really well out there last year. A couple holes that he didn't do so good on. Obviously, he got obviously not as well as the people that first, second, but 3rd place. He's the same as the other. He's a young kid, got a lot of life left, I guess, or a lot of youth energy to him.
He's been playing at a high level since he was so young. I mean, what is he, 19 right now? 20?
He's
19. Yeah, he's young.
And I think as long as he sticks with it, he's just going to get more seasoned into the disc golf mechanics and stuff of what he does.
Yeah.
I'll
agree with all those.
Watch out for Eagle as soon as he finally wins that big one.
Yeah.
Because as soon as he wins that big one, he gets over that hump.
Yeah.
He's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
And I honestly thought Aussie Open last year was going to be that.
I did too. And I thought, well, we won't say it, but go on.
Yeah.
We'll move on.
Yes, definitely. So anyway.
We keep getting closer to closer.
no,
That's right.
No.
That's right. We'll congratulate the person that did win next week.
No, we probably won't.
After we get
okay.
him out of here. After everyone's had a chance to watch. All right, so dark horse.
We'll let Bobby pick a dark horse. Not necessarily a dark horse, but maybe just a name that's
Here's
always
someone,
at the top.
Right. Here's someone that I think is going to do really well. I don't know that he'll maybe even get top 5 or top 6 or 7, but I think he's going to do well. So maybe roundabout in a top 10, and that's Chris Clemmons.
Nice.
That's a good pick.
He's just, when I interviewed him on PDJ, and then we did some stuff out there, whatever, there was just something that just, he was excited. He was ready to get out there. He's an excellent player. And
highest rated lefty in the world.
Highest rated
right?
lefty.
Still?
I think he still is, yeah.
He works at the DD Kansas City store. He's just, disc golf surrounds him on the course, at his job, and his girlfriend plays disc. I mean, it's just, disc golf is all around him. And I really think that he's excited, just as excited as we are to have him on the team. So I think that's going to be something that kind of elevates him. And I just really expect to see him do really well, at the very least at the Vegas Challenge.
Yeah, he's got a great win game too, and great backhand and forehand player. And it's becoming
as a lefty, you have
to. For more and more for lefties. If you don't have a great forehand, see ya, because so many courses are favor right-handed backhand players.
Yep.
Who you got for dark horse?
I went back and forth between this player and Clemmons. Actually, Clemmons was going to be one of my picks, but I'm going to go with Grady Shue.
Nice, yeah, that's good.
Who came out at was it Vibram?
Mm-hmm.
That he played really well at. He was on lead card.
DGC, he was like 10th or 12th or something like that.
He was way up there too. So up and comer, young kid, just a solid player. No fear. It's his first time out on the road. I remember my first time going out and really having no fears, and that's a scary player because they're not. If he goes out and has a bad first round, nobody thinks about it, But he can go out and have that great solid first round and be up there and be able to compete with those other guys. And I just think Grady's going to do a lot of big things this year. Yeah,
I'll agree with you on that. I think that's a great pick. This person I think would have been challenging at wintertime. If they weren't winning, they would have been right up there, if not for their rough into their first round. And that's Kevin Jones. Kevin is young, out on the road again full time, and he throws so very far. Very, very far. I mean, he's up there in the elite distance levels. He's probably not quite Simon and Eagle, but he's really close. Mm-hmm. And once his mental game gets dialed in just even a little bit more, I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. If he gets aggressive and finds good spots on this course, I think he could be one who could finish top 10, top 5.
Excellent. So let's throw in the FPO field as well.
We're all going to pick the same person.
Yeah, I mean, we're all going to pick the same person.
Am I right?
I'm not. I am.
No. So we're all going to pick Paige Pierce just because there's no stopping her dominating. She dominated
after last year. How do you not?
For me, the same thing as I said about Ricky. Like, until Paige just explodes and finishes awful in a bunch of tournaments in a row, I have no reason to not pick her.
Correct.
So with Paige being our picks for first place, who do we think will be in second place? Let's throw that in there to see if we can figure out. Do we think it's just going to be? I mean, I know we've always it seems like at the beginning of the year, Catrina Allen would have. We talked about it a little bit about some struggles maybe she was having in her personal life and stuff like that was affecting. A lot of people say that her. I mean, I don't want to be harsh, but her, not necessarily.
Demeanor, is that what you're
maybe
gonna say?
demeanor is better than saying. The word that popped in my mind was attitude. And I don't want to say attitude because it has a weird connotation. So
sure.
Demeanor is probably a little better describing it. In that, a lot of people didn't agree with her demeanor, saying that was affecting her play. But it seemed like toward the end of last year, some people remarked on how more uplifted she felt, how more happy she seemed to feel. So whatever was going on has maybe worked itself out. And so I'm anxious to see, obviously I'm all Paige Pierce because she's a friend of mine.
Obvious reasons.
But I'm interested to see how that affects Catrina Allen's performance I'd almost want to say that, Paige is going to win. Catrina's going to get second, but it's hard to rule out Sarah Holcomb. I know Lisa Fajkus has been a great player, but she seems to be making more of a push. I don't know if that's because she's playing more tournaments or she just has elevated her game recently. So Lisa's someone you don't want to count out. Jennifer Allen is up there. Jessica Weese is up there. Madison Walker. A lot of people are saying.
So are you just going to answer this one and not let us answer
I'm going to
it?
put out 12 people. Yeah.
You're going to put out
My
all
picks
the
for
women?
this week are all of the women's field. In some order, this will be the finish.
I guess in my mind, I can't figure out who I want to put. I think I'm going to go with Catrina Allen because I think that positive vibe she was putting out is going to follow into 2018.
Yep. I think I'll take Catrina in second. I am excited to see her. We followed her card at Vibram last year when we were with Paige as well. And she was honestly really fun to watch, had a great attitude on the course. And it's like you said, Bobby, just seemed a little bit more positive. And, people can compete however they want to, but it seemed like she was enjoying herself a little bit more on the course. But for third in the FPO division, I'm going to take Lisa. I think Lisa's got all the tools. She does have a pretty strong forehand as well. And the big thing on these courses is with so many greens near out of bounds, if your putt is even just a little bit off, you can be in a bad spot. And Lisa is one of the best putters in the women's field for sure.
Sure, you're going Paige Pierce, Catrina Allen, Lisa Fajkus.
That's where I'm going. I think it's Fajkus.
It is Fajkus.
Yeah,
I'm so far.
That's okay.
I was just faking us out.
Oh,
Ayo.
What's up, Dougie? What do you think?
What you got, Eric?
It's tough because everybody that you guys have named is obviously good picks, so it's hard to pick them like 1, 2, and 3. But I think Jessica Weese is going to finish up there this week. She played well this last weekend, and I know she's been playing all summer long or all winter long rather in California. I've seen a lot of pictures and videos and stuff like that of her out there playing. But I'll tell you one girl to watch out for this year, and I'm not saying that she's going to be on top. Or, she may finish top 2 or 3. It's going to be tough for her to get a win this year, but Kona Panis is one that she's been
putting in the work.
I've been watching her game, and I've been watching, I follow her on Instagram and Snapchat and all that, and she's every day.
Yep.
Every day somewhere in Southern California or making a road trip to Vegas for the day or Phoenix for the day to play golf. And it is really helped out. It's shown. She played really well down in wintertime. It's just impressive to me, and she's got great form. She's got a great attitude. She's just a good player, and watch for her to do big things this year.
Yeah. I'll say there's another girl in a similar position to her, younger player who's getting out on tour a little bit more, and that's Rebecca Cox, who's just come over to Latitude. I think they're going to both be really fun to watch this year, kind of starting in a similar spot to one another. To just see who's going to make some of those jumps and make some of those lead cards.
Yeah, excellent. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to put I took some notes on what we talked about, and I'll put this information out in the show notes for this episode. It's the first NT of the year.
Right.
I know we've had the Wintertime Open, a few other things, but this is really seems to be the kind of the kickoff for things. So it will be interesting to see. Will the normal names be up top? The Paul McBeth, the Ricky Wysocki. That's kind of a given. We feel like they're going to be there, but I think it is going to be interesting to see the Eagle McMahons, the Simon breakouts and all those people, especially Josh Anthon. Now that he's kind of back on the touring season, I don't know that he'll be at as many events as some of the other big names, but it'll be interesting to see how he places when he plays in these big events. And then, of course, in the women's field, the Jessica Weese, the Lisa, and all that, how they're going to stack up. So we'll keep talking about these, and as the season progresses, I think our minds might change a little bit about who we're going to see, in the top 5, top 10 spots. So it will be interesting to keep this going. So again, skipace.com, get signed up so you can take part in our Disc Golf Answer Man League. We're going to give away prizes, and we want to be able to talk about this. And here, maybe we'll have to set some up where people can actually send in, maybe through SpeakPipe, maybe send in their thoughts and stuff on performance. I don't know. Just thinking out loud here.
Nah, man.
Forget it. So anyway, guys, we'll see you next week. Get your picks in.